It's good to meet up like this at the beginning of the week. I really appreciate it. It's an interesting way of engaging with each other, and it's just good, isn't it, to take these opportunities to see how we can grow in the Lord. And we're still looking at how Timothy was mentored so superbly by Paul, and just learning from some of those things. And when Paul is talking to Timothy here in 1 Timothy 6, he says you're to pursue gentleness. Wow. Is that a commodity that we really prize these days? Gentleness? We're assertive, we're aggressive, we do all of these kind of things, but gentleness, how do we handle people's lives? How do we regard ourselves? Do we handle ourselves and beat ourselves up constantly? I know that Paul talks about having to bring everything into subjection in his life, but in some ways, some of the things that we're bringing into subjection are the very things that if we didn't bring them into subjection would stop us exhibiting the gentleness that the Lord wants us to show. If we don't rein in some of our aggression and hold back on some of our impetuosity, we're not going to show that gentleness out there in the world. And people do need to be handled with gentleness. I know that there are some times when we have to come in hard and bring that corrective word, but I think of so many broken lives out there, and sometimes they have been broken by over assertive and over aggressive correction, and sometimes you just need to come in that spirit of gentleness. It shouldn't be too difficult for us to think like this, because we've got Jesus as the example. Look how he dealt with people. Even when his disciples were arguing amongst themselves, he just would deal with them so graciously, so gently. It really amazes me. Now, I want to know that in my life. I want to develop that gentleness. I want to pursue it. I want to look at relationships where, maybe in ministry I'm having to bring correction. I want to think about, how can I do this in a spirit of gentleness? How can I do this in a way which actually makes the correction I want to bring so much easier to receive because of the spirit in which I'm bringing it? And gentleness isn't just about bringing correction. Sometimes it's just about bringing healing, bringing restoration into people's lives. Even just in the way that we deal with things, it can make such a difference. So I want to encourage you to think about this, because I don't think it's top of most people's priorities to have a gentleness about them. But I think we should make it a priority this week. I think we need to say, if that is what Paul said to Timothy is to be there in your life, gentleness, then let's make sure it's there in our lives too, and setting it out as a way in which relationships can be transformed. Just think about so many of these tense relationships in the world at all kinds of levels. What a difference gentleness would make. So here we are. We've got a great opportunity to put it into practice this week. And I'll be seeking to do that, and I want to encourage you to do that too. Just look at the ways in which you can express that. If you want to stay up to date as we come together and look at these mentoring options, then do hit that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you again. But have a great week.